Hello, my name is Gary with Smoking and His Barbecue, and today we're going to talk about all things meat grinders. Stay tuned. If you're anything like me, you always watch these YouTube videos and serious about barbecue, and people talk about, I'm going to take this meat and grind it up, save it for sausage, save it for a burger meat or this, that, and the other. But what does that really mean? What does that mean to you? Those that have meat grinder, let's dive deep. Now, a lot of people may know this is a KitchenAid. Why do I have this on my counter board when we talk about meat grinders? Well, the cool thing about KitchenAid is that it has this nice little top right here that actually comes off. And when that comes off, you can actually have attachments. I don't have a meat grinder attachment for this specific KitchenAid, but it's a cool feature. Now, if I was starting all over again and I saw these YouTube videos about grinding meat, I definitely would have bought an attachment for this. Instead, I chose something else, and I went ahead and stepped up and actually got a dedicated meat grinder. Let me show you. Now, this is a Cabela's meat grinder. It has served me well. It has 2 different dies that it comes with and a blade. You could also do sausage stuffing, but I do not recommend it off of a dedicated meat grinder. It just won't be fun. And you got the pusher. So this is a Cabela's Deluxe, and it has served me well, as I mentioned before. One of the things about this meat grinder, that it's not a big horsepower meat grinder. So when you grinding your meat, you want to make sure that you cut the meat into cubes or small little strips, because you don't want to overwork this meat grinder and burn the motor out. So again, this Cabela's Deluxe served me well. Anybody that's getting serious about grinding your own meat and getting into sausage making, this is a great beginner, or I should say, it's a great step up from the KitchenAid meat attachment that you can add to that grinder. Now, while we're all here, I'm going to be doing an unboxing of this new upgraded meat grinder I got. Now let's go ahead and unbox this. This would be the meat pedal. This is going to be so cool that I just don't continue to have the motor running. So that's the cool thing about the pedal. You just press on it, or when you want to stop grinding the meat, you just take your foot off the pedal. I'm really stoked about this. Looks like this comes with 2 dies. We have a 4.5 millimeter, and this one's a 8 millimeter. And then there's one for sausage stuffing, just like the other meat grinder I had from Cabela's. These are the tubes, plastic tubes for the sausage stuffing. Again, I don't recommend that. I recommend a dedicated sausage stuffer. This is a half horsepower meat grinder by the maker Meat Your Maker. So put this back together. This is cool. One of the neat features that I love about this meat grinder is it has a compartment drawer on the bottom, so you can put all your stuff, all the excess dies, sausage stuffer tubes and everything like that. You can put it away so it's not in the way. I am so looking forward to using this meat grinder. Did I need it? Was this a necessary purchase? Absolutely not. But I got into sausage making a couple months ago, and I have a dedicated sausage stuffer, and I wanted to upgrade my meat grinder. This is gonna grind up the meat so much faster, and I'm so looking forward to testing this out. So this video wouldn't be complete without actually testing this out. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash out the components since I just unboxed it. I'm gonna go ahead and dry it out, put everything in the freezer and let it chill out so I could grind up some the leftover brisket of 2 briskets I just recently had. So stay tuned. So I washed all the components that's inside of, that's going to touch any part of the meat. So it's all washed up. I'm going to go ahead and put this in the freezer for about 45 minutes just to keep it cold. That's what you want to do when you grind your own meat. You want the meat cold, which I already put in the freezer, and then you want the components that's going to touch the meat. You want that cold as well. So stay tuned. I'm going to put this in the freezer. We'll be back to grind up the meat. So I just took all the parts, the components to this meat 1/2 horsepower grinder out. As you can see from this tray, the parts are all frosted over. I have some brisket trimmings from the last 2 briskets I cooked. I got the fat, and then I got the meat over here. That's been in the freezer for a little over an hour. It's still not completely frozen. I just want to keep it nice and cold. So let me go ahead and put this together. By the way, when I was, after I put the parts in the freezer to get it nice and cold, I can tell right away that this grinder is a lot faster than the grinder I already had before from Cabela's. I know I'm probably gonna have a hard time keeping up with this grinder. It's so fast. So I'm gonna put this tub right underneath it, and let's get to grinding. Let's get rocking and rolling. As you can see, this meat grinder just chewed that right up. Just chewed it right up. Look how fast I grinded that up. The meat's still nice and cold. I'm gonna go ahead and I always like to do a double grind on this meat. Whether I'm gonna do sausage or if I'm gonna do burger meat. I think this batch is gonna be burger meat because I already have some frozen meat I have ready for my next sausage batch. Let me go ahead and grind it through another time. So that was all the chopped meat or the brisket meat I had to grind up. As you can see, that makes real quick work. It barely took any time. Second time going through, since it's all together, glued together, so to speak, you just can see that it grinds a little slower. But the first time around, it chewed this up. It's real fast. This pedal is so sweet because you want to, for sanitary reasons, you want to be touching everything like that. So I love the addition to this foot pedal. One last thing I want to do is go ahead and grind up the fat so I can make some tallow. As I'm grinding this, one little part that I actually love about this grinder is this plate up here. It swivels around, so you can just put it in any position that you want. I'm naturally I usually have it back here. You can put it in the front. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is pretty sweet. I love that plate that it rotates. As you saw, I got my ground meat from the brisket. That's gonna be for tallow. So you saw this machine ate it up. This half horsepower meat grinder from Meat Your Maker. It's pretty sweet. I can't wait to do my next batch of sausage. And do you use a meat grinder? Is that part of your barbecue arsenal? Let me know down below. Like and subscribe. Tell me your thoughts. Do you have one of these grinders? What kind of grinder do you have? Are you aggressive with your brisket trim or any other meats? I would love to know. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and vacuum seal this up and save this. Except for the beef tallow, I'm gonna go ahead and make that. I'm making a brisket right now for Thanksgiving. But the meat, I'm saving for another time. And here comes some tallow. Thank you for watching. Gary from the Smoking Numbers Barbecue. Until next time. Thanks for watching.